Hey guys, Billy Wilson here, and in this module, we're going to cover how to find dream clients and avoid time wasters. And that background photo there will kind of help you visualize what we're trying to get out of this. Avoid the prickles, go after those dream clients. So here's what we're going to be covering in this video. First, what are dream clients? Second, what the perfect client looks like, businesses to avoid at all costs, some real life examples of good and bad businesses to work with, the top 2 things to look for when prospecting dream clients, and then last, the top questions to ask yourself when prospecting. And the reason I made this video is really just to save you guys an enormous amount of time, because going back at the beginning of my agency, I wasted about 8 months going after the wrong clients and working with these time waster clients. So that's the reason I put this in there, to save you about 8 months of time, so you can just completely skip even working with any bad clients at all. So what are dream clients? What are the exact clients you're trying to go after? Well, dream clients are pretty much 1 in 100. They're usually buried and surrounded by time-wasting clients you must avoid at all costs. Once again, that's that visual representation of that cactus that I showed you earlier. And dream clients are basically clients you dream of. They pay high dollar, they're easy to provide results for, they're high quality, and they look to work with high quality. If you want dream clients, you need to be working towards becoming a dream agency. Like attracts like. If you're highly organized, systemized, show up on time, etc., you will attract clients who are the same way. So be how you want your clients to be. Don't be like show up late and stuff like that and then expect your clients to show up on time. Like, that's not cool. Just try your best to be who you want your clients to be like. And it's just as important that you qualify and find the right clients as they find you. So it's not like your client should be interviewing you. You are more so just as much interviewing these clients as they're interviewing you, and that will help you with your positioning and your confidence of the situation. And at the same time, when I mention work towards becoming a dream agency, don't expect your agency to be perfect. You're just getting started with this business, and I'm going to help you enormously to be organized and systemized. We're going to have a script and everything for you, so you're going to be really organized and systemized. So even though you don't have that all yet, don't worry, you're going to have that very soon. And what are dream clients? Well, put simply, good clients are easy to get results for and take minimal time and work, and bad clients are hard to get results for and take max amount of time and work. And the thing is, most of the time, these clients will pay you the same. So you want to find the easy ones, the ones that are easy to provide results for and take the least amount of time. So here's what the perfect client looks like. First thing they are is organized. They show up on your meetings on time. They have a lead, sales, follow-up process in place. If you want to see an example of a dream client, you can watch my $2,000 sales call recording. I would rate them a 10 out of 10, which is extremely rare. Well, I'd maybe even do it a 9.5 out of 10. I'll hit on that a little bit later. And you can also tell how organized they are by the questions that are in the perfect meeting script, and we'll be going over that later in the program. And the other way you can tell if they're the perfect client is they already have a successful and have a proven process. If they have more than one location, they probably already have this. So this is one of the key things that I look for when prospecting, is they have more than one location. And let me put this simply, like, this is what the perfect client looks like. This doesn't mean every client is going to have all of these things. It's pretty much going to be impossible to find one that's actually perfect. But these are, if I could literally draw myself the exact perfect client, these are all the features that they would have. So you want to try to get clients that have as many of these features as possible. And the next thing is that they're already spending money on marketing. It's much easier to convince them to move their budget than to create one. And they should be making at least $10,000 per month revenue, preferably more, and preferably the owner is making over $10,000 per month profit, because this means they have enough money to invest into you. And this is going to be hard to tell exactly without meeting before them, but you'll kind of get more of a gist as you work through this and you ask them the questions in the meeting script, like how much they're actually making. And the other way you can tell right off the bat is if they have a clean, modern, updated websites. This is one of the first good signs to me of a good client. And some more features they have is they have 4.5 stars on Google or Facebook or higher. And this shows they have raving customers and provide great customer service. They work quickly and efficiently. They get items to you quickly and on time. They already handle online leads. This is a plus, but not 100% necessary. And they would be easy to provide results for. You don't have to sell the businesses. People already know they need it. So for example, if somebody has a toothache, they need to go to the dentist, like, they already know that, so you don't have to sell it. And they are the best in their area, and if they're the best in the area, you'll easily blow away the competition by starting Facebook advertising for them. And it's also great if they have a fast response time and a strong ability to close leads. So if you were to call their business and they would pick up quickly and get you booked in efficiently, that's kind of a good sign of that. And if you gave them leads, they would call them in 5 minutes or less and get them booked in. And here are the businesses to avoid at all costs. So the first one is startups with no proven sales. That's like e-com stores or startups with little to no sales, small mom and pop businesses. We're not trying to work with those kind of businesses. The second one is struggling businesses. You're not here to fix businesses. You're here to help scale already successful ones. And we're also avoiding clients that are difficult to provide results for. You want businesses you don't need to sell. And let me give you an example. I have a client actually that is one that you do have to sell. And they already had ads running, but it was for a different offer. But another business that they wanted me to run ads for is pension reviews. And if you don't know what a pension is, it's basically like a retirement plan. And to convince someone to review their retirement plan, that is probably the hardest thing to sell in the world, which we actually are doing it. But trust me, you do not want to do that, especially if you're a beginner just getting started with this, because you're just gonna completely waste your time. I wouldn't have worked with this client if I had to do the pension things off the bat, but they're paying $5,000 per month, and we already did ads for their main business and got great results with that. And you want to avoid businesses that Facebook doesn't allow ads for. So anything cannabis related, vapes, cigarettes, tobacco, MLM, get rich quick, anything gun related, sexual, payday loans, bail bonds, etc. You can check Facebook's advertising policies for a full list by searching that on Google. So here's some examples of types of clients to avoid. And these are lots of clients that people, and I went after at the beginning. So don't just completely avoid these clients. Single location restaurants, don't mess with them. Real estate agents doing less than 2 to 3 sales per month on average, don't mess with them. Single location coffee shops, nope. Solo personal trainers, nope. Solo entrepreneurs, usually, unless they're making like a ridiculous amount of money that they can afford you. Pretty much anyone, and you want to avoid pretty much anyone that couldn't easily afford to spend at least $1,500 per month on marketing. If they have to think really long and hard about spending $1,000 to make $4,000 back, then that's not the client you want. You're going after clients that are too small. You want clients that can easily afford to spend $1,500 per month on marketing, because this is going to make your sales process way easier, because then the money is not an issue. And it's going to be way easier to gain them as clients if the money isn't an issue. So here's how to tell the difference between a time waster and a dream client. So you can take the sheet with you. You can look at this anytime, but I have this here for you so you can be able to tell the difference. And this will kind of describe more like what they look like, so you know exactly what to avoid and what exactly to go after. So the time waster on the left there, these are some examples of these are startups with no proven sales, struggling mom and pop businesses, making under $10,000 per month, indecisive, difficult to provide results for, doesn't get things to you on time, tries to micromanage you instead of letting you be the expert. Their sales process involves a careless minimum wage 16-year-old at the front desk handling leads and customers, has a website that looks like it was made in 2006, takes hours or even days to call leads you give them, is living in their comfort zone and isn't truly committed to growing their business. They don't value your time or theirs. Their business is a mess and they have no systems in place. They're completely unorganized and they're looking to do no work and expect you to do all the work. So if they have any of those things, you probably want to avoid them. And the dream client is highly organized. They show up to your meetings on time. They already have a lead sales follow-up process in place. They already have a successful and proven process. Preferably, they have more than one location, because this shows that they have proven their process. They're already spending money on marketing. They have 1 to 5 plus highly profitable locations. Not so big in corporate that you have to climb a massive ladder just to talk to the owner, but just the right size so you can quickly and efficiently get them to at least test your services. Has a clean, modern, updated website that shows they are with the times. They make sure all the leads are called and booked within 5 minutes, and they have raving customers and high reviews. That's exactly what you're looking for. So here's some real life examples, because I know it can be hard to visualize good and bad clients, businesses to work with. So here's client number 1. Luckily for you guys, I get people that apply to work with me on my website. So I can have their numbers on their revenue, and I'm going to show you guys some pictures and show you these clients and kind of give you an example like which ones are good and which ones are not before even meeting with them, so you can be able to tell which clients are good to go after and which ones to avoid. So this is the first one. And as you can see here from their application, they're making $10,000 per month revenue. They're already running Facebook ads and they're looking to grow. The biggest downside is they have a low marketing budget because it says investing $500 into Facebook ads per month, which is not very much. And so they have a high quality website that looks good. And checking Google, they have a 5-star reviews with 54 reviews. Same thing on Facebook, which is amazing. They have a decent number of page likes on their Facebook page. They're already running Facebook ads, so all we have to do is help them improve. And with that said, after showing all these things, I would rate this client a 6 out of 10 only because of their low revenue and budget. Everything else is looking pretty good. And you could charge $1,000 per month management plus ad spend. So we'll call this client our baseline because this would be the absolute smallest client we would work with. And I would recommend starting bigger. I would really recommend starting bigger. But this is like literally the bare minimum client that you would take on at $1,000 per month, because $1,000 per month is pretty much the max that this client can afford. And this is actually like a real client that I've gotten to commit to a trial, which I'm not taking the trial on, but I've given it to somebody else, and they're going to do a trial with someone, and they've already committed to paying $1,000, and that was pretty much the most they were willing to invest, $1,000 plus ad spend. So this is your exact baseline client. This can give you an idea of what type of business is like the worst business you could possibly work with, that you would work with. So client number 2 is got 30 years in business, looking to grow. The main downside of this is they have this special service called direct neurofeedback for anxiety, depression, panic attacks, and stress. So it's a new thing. So the problem is it's not an easy sell because it's not something people already know they need, like a dentist or a chiropractor or a gym. But they do have checking their website, they do have a high quality website. They already have a high quality landing page, and they already had marketing copy on this page. So when I scrolled down on this page, I saw like a lot of marketing copy, and they already had some marketing materials. The owners already had marketing copy wrote up, and they sent me documents with it in there. So I didn't even have to really write that much copy. They already had a lot of it done. And they had amazing reviews, but they had low Facebook page likes. They didn't really use their Facebook page. And before meeting them, I would rate them an 8 out of 10. But after meeting with them and going through the script, I knew they were a 10 out of 10 because I knew that they had a really good closing process. They were doing pretty high revenue. Let's see what the revenue was actually. Yeah, $100K per month revenue. So that kind of shows like a lot. Actually, no, that's not 100K. Actually didn't get the revenue on that and have that in my survey yet, but this is a good example of a client. The only downside of this client is they were a difficult sell, but they made up for that in the fact that they already had the ad copy in place for me, and they already were able to make some really good solid videos beforehand. So client number 3 example, they're doing $100,000 per month of revenue. They have a large marketing budget, so $5,000 per testing per month. Amazing landing pages, very difficult niche, not for beginners. So after looking at all of this, I decided that I would only work with them, for me personally, for $5,000 per month, because it's definitely a very difficult niche to work with. It was like doing a free ebook and then upselling real estate agents to a webinar and a high ticket sale, like $500 sale. So that's a really difficult funnel and system and client to work with. So for most people, I wouldn't recommend that, but this is just one example. So client number 4, pretty much just complete, cut this out, no sales, e-commerce store, under 10K monthly revenue, just straight up, we don't even take it. I just cancel the meeting. And some of you guys might get meetings set up later. If you don't have meetings, that's perfectly fine. You won't know their revenue numbers before, but I'm going to show you how to tell even if you don't have the revenue numbers. So here's some more examples for you. And this is actually a client, my very first client, and I worked with them for $500 a month, and they had 4.1 star reviews, so that was under our 5-point star that we're going for. They have good number of page likes. They're the biggest and best in their area. So this can actually show, this is kind of an example client that shows that they can still have some of these good dream client features, but it's the bad things that outweigh these dream client features that really makes it not a good client to work with. And they were a single location, they're low revenue, they were struggling, which you never want to work with struggling businesses. And they had a bad website. And the biggest thing is the low revenue, just the struggling business part that made this really not a good client. And this really goes to show that it's not always that easy to tell like which clients are good and which clients are bad. So hopefully this is giving you guys kind of like, since you're seeing real life examples of this, you're getting more of a gauge of what this actually looks like to be in real life, like what a good client looks like and what a not so good client. So this is definitely a not so good client. And this is the second client that I worked with for $500 one time. They had 4.9 star reviews, good number of page likes. They are a single location, so that's the negative. They have low revenue, and this is a coffee shop. So instantly, you guys should know now, cut it out in single restaurant location. And overall, this would be a great client, but the single issue was they simply couldn't afford my services. So even though I got them great results for $500, they wanted to continue, but they simply couldn't because they didn't have the money. So you guys gotta really avoid clients that don't have the money and go after clients that do have the money. And here's client number 7. This is just another client that I completely wasted my time on. They had 4.3 star reviews, so that's bad. Single location, struggling, low revenue, okay website, but not very good branding. Obviously, there's pretty much everything wrong with this business. I wish I had someone like myself to tell me this before I worked with them, but you guys got me now, so you're not gonna waste your time on clients like this. So here's the 2 things to look for when you're prospecting dream clients. So I know a lot of you guys are not gonna know their revenue before you meet with them because you can't just pull up their revenue really. So I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard to tell at first how much revenue a business is doing without meeting them and knowing whether or not where they can afford your services, but hopefully this can give you a baseline. So when searching online, the 2 easiest ways to tell if they can afford your services for like 100% sure is, number 1, if they have multiple locations, they can most likely afford your services, and that also shows they have a proven process. If they've been able to expand to multiple locations, they're probably not struggling. So that's a really good sign. And they've also got more revenue, more money that they can spend on you. And then the second, like a really, really good sign is they're already spending money on marketing. So the way you can know this is if you hear ads of them on the radio, you check Google to search for search terms that are related to their business and see if they have Google ads running. You can check their Facebook page, info and ads section to see if they're running Facebook ads. There's lots of different places they can be running ads. They could be running TV ads. So if you already know they're spending money on marketing, that's a really good sign that they can afford your services. So here's a good prospect client example. So they have 2 locations. They're both over 4.5 stars. This is a gym. They have modern branding. They definitely could afford $1,500 to $3,000 plus per month. I was unsure when researching if they are doing paid marketing. I couldn't find ads on Facebook or Google, so that's a negative sign, but I would rate them an 8.5 out of 10 before actually knowing them. And with these rating numbers, I'm giving you guys these rating numbers with these clients so you have a rating scale out of 1 out of 10, because later on in this section, we're going to be rating the clients that you prospect so you can know which ones are the best ones and which ones are not the best. And another good prospect client example is this one location chiropractic place. They're the biggest and best in their area, so I could tell that by the number of reviews they had and how high of reviews they had, and the fact that they had not just like one chiropractor, they had like probably 5 to 10 chiropractors at this single location. So that's obviously a sign they're like the biggest compared to the ones around. They had over 4.5 stars. They were already spending a lot of money on Google ads, because anytime you search the word chiropractic in this city, like they always pop up in Google ads. So they're obviously spending a lot, probably thousands of dollars per month on Google ads. So that way I know they can definitely afford at least $1,500 to $3,000 plus per month on marketing for Facebook ads. But the downside is they had an old website and some outdated branding. So those things kind of bring them down from a 10 out of 10 to down to an 8 out of 10 because of those old website and a little bit outdated branding. But this is still, like I said, not every client's going to be perfect, but this is a good example of a client that you would want to at least reach out to, and that would be a good prospect. So the top questions to ask yourself when prospecting is: 1, would they be easy to provide results for? 2, are they already spending money on marketing? And let me go back to point number 1. Would they be easy to provide results for? This is super, super important. And you have to really answer this for yourself, because your knowledge of an industry is going to be a lot different. And another way you can kind of know if they're going to be easy to provide results for is if other people in the group, or you've seen my ads in my ad bank, I already have proven ads that work for this business. Obviously, those are going to be really easy ones to provide results for. that's kind of up to your own discretion. And it's also going to be businesses that you don't need to sell are going to be easier to provide results for. And another question to ask yourself is, do they have more than one location? Do they have over 4.5 stars on Google? Do they have a clean, modern, updated website? Do they overall seem like a well-run business? Do they have efficient? If I gave them leads, would they be able to close them? Is there not like a 16-year-old working the front desk that would be handling the leads, not caring if they close or not? You want people that, like businesses that are dialed in, they're looking to kill it, they're looking to grow, and they're a well-run business. So in this video, we covered what are dream clients, what the perfect client looks like, businesses to avoid at all costs, some real life examples of good and bad businesses to work with, the top 2 things to look for when prospecting dream clients, and the top questions to ask yourself when prospecting. And guys, don't let this information overwhelm you or turn you into a perfectionist. You will never find a perfect client. Just focus on finding great ones that you're easy to provide results for and you know can easily afford your services, just like the examples of good ones, good prospects that I showed you. And just keep this knowledge in the back of your mind. Don't let this information hold you back from taking action. If you're feeling information overload right now, that is good. If you're out of your comfort zone, that is good. That means you're learning, you're becoming a better person. So sleep on this and let it soak in. And last but not least, just because I gave you information doesn't mean you're done. You're probably feeling some dopamine for finishing this video, but you're never going to achieve success if you don't do the action that comes right after. So after you watch each of these next videos, take the action. Now the next action for this video is to watch the next video, but after the next couple videos, there's gonna be some action steps to actually start creating your prospect lists, and you need to do this. You need to take the action if you wanna get success, and that's what's gonna take you to that next level. I really look forward to seeing you get your first client, and if you've already got a couple clients, I really look forward to seeing you get to 6 figures. I'm super excited, and the thing is, you just gotta take the action with this stuff, guys. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.